Hey everyone, welcome back, and we'll be continuing where we left off, which is we'll be redesigning Captain America's shield and make it as if we were in the medieval times, which I think will be a fun endeavor. So let's get to it. All right. So first things first, you need to figure out how thick these shields will need to be. So let's bring this over here and let's find out. Metal armor thickness. Let's see, I think metal chest, what armor thickness? So for historical reenactment, for modern ballistics, historical medieval armor typically range from 1 millimeter to 1.5 millimeters on average, with thicker sections up to 3 millimeters on the cuirass or chest plate and helmet. Let's see. How thick is a medieval buckler shield? Here's a good image of a buckler shield. Save image as. Save that to the list. But now, how thick is it? Between 8 millimeters and 16 millimeters. Is that accurate? Doesn't sound too accurate. Let's see. Let's see. How thick was a metal buckler shield? Alright. Couldn't have been much thicker, I don't think. Alright, so 1.2 to 2 millimeters in thickness. So, about 16 to 14 gauge. Let's see. Millimeter to inches. So there's about 0.039 to 0.078. Let's see, what is gauge to inches? All right, here, gauge inch to millimeter conversion chart. So let's see, was it 14 and 16? Yeah, 14 gauge to 16 gauge. This doesn't feel right. It's like the wrong gauge chart. All right. Let's see. Point oh, so see what is close to that. Okay, let's try this. I like doing things in eighths or sixteenths, so that's an eighth plus 0.01565, 0.7. Oh, that's pretty accurate to what 2 millimeters is, just if just under. All right, let's go with that thickness. 0.078125. All right, let's type this in. Inches. So that thick. change this to 3. And of course it's upside down. Cancel. Escape. There we go. All right, now let's see. So that means if you were to roll it, what does a cross section of rolled metal look like? Cross section of rolled steel. Hammer rolled steel. I'm guessing because it's expanding and contracting at the same time, it's gonna get thinner. I don't know if I can find an image of that though. Is there a cross section of steel armor? Must be someone who's cut it in half, right? Not what I'm looking for. I guess what I'm trying to do, I could show you all. Let's see. I'm trying to gauge this roll right here on the edges. Let's see how to roll the edge of medieval armor. I wonder if they have a good zoom in of it. Let's see, it's too big again. How thick was it? This video is showing how to create it. It's not specifying the thickness. All right, let's try this. A roll of how thick was the rolled edge of medieval armor? If the plate, if the steel thickness was 1 millimeter or 2 millimeter. So you can get 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter, 1. There we go. Let's see if we have a gauge here. Rolled edges, also called turned, roped, or flanged edges. Okay, so it's a late century technique, I guess. So it stiffened and strengthened the edge against bending and cracking. Typical dimensions: the width of a rolled flange portion, how far it protects from the main surface, usually 4 to 10 millimeters, commonly 5 to 8 for typical field armor. Height, so it's protection outward. How far it stands proud of the plate, 3 to 8 millimeters, often round. Tapering towards the end. Effective material thickness. Alright, for context, the main body plate was 1 millimeter thick, only seen some limb pieces. Alright, so if the main plate was 2 millimeters thick, the rolled edge was typically 3.5 to 5. Alright, so the gain thickness. If it was 1 millimeter thick, it'd be about 2.5 to 4. So more than doubled, sometimes tripled the thickness. All right, at least we have something to go with. And all right, so let's go with that. All right, where is it? Let's copy this. Okay, let's type in plate. Okay. I don't need to add a thick at the end. Just do this. Okay. All right, plate is there. All right, that means roll. All right, looks like we're gonna have to come up with something in between. Times 2. All right, 0.15625. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and add the 0. Okay. All right, so 2. Okay. Plus 0.078125. 234,375. Okay. Does that change anything? Nope. All right. Ah, come on, where's the 0? Okay. So now we need to figure out. So the question is, would this be overlaid shield after shield after shield, or will it be buckler shield and then strip of metal, strip of metal, strip of metal? You know what I mean? Hmm. It's a question. What would be easier for them to do? Hmm. I guess we could always do both and see which one looks better. All right, let's call that finished for now. Let's go ahead and work on the other plane. All right, let's hide this. Now we need to figure out how much of a of an arc we're not gonna have. I guess it could start off. So this is the standard measure of what the rings are. So what if we tried making the thickness of the shield the same? That actually looks pretty good. So just as the rings are 3.5 inches thick, we make the actual shield curve at 3.5 inches. Actually, it looks good. What do y'all think? I wonder if they actually use that measurement for the shield. So hmm. So let's do this. Where's the center point? There. So the interesting part about this is, do we go? So I guess we would go about that. We would say go, because we could do 3.5 inches in that direction and cut across. Or we could base it off of the degree. So what degree is this? So oops. Let's take this, go here. So this is 4.6, or basically 4.7. What is this? 45? Huh. This is almost 45. Which is almost... Which means we could do it this way instead. Hmm. Decisions, but this is an arbitrary number, I suppose. That's 45.5. That's interesting. Hmm. So if we did... Ah, crap. So undo that. Because the interesting thing is if we go this way and step it how it's being done right now, each of these would technically be different heights. Because the arc is shifting. It'd be small, but it'd still be different. So I'm kind of inclined doing it by this. Let's get rid of this. Let's make that 45. Maybe it's 22.5. Make that 22.5. There and there. So this should be 45 now, right? Whoops. Let's go back in. Go here. So yeah, so that's 45. All right, what happens if we make it go to 50? How big does the shield become? Really? Alright, take those 2 points. 37. So we got a shield that's basically 38 inches, or a shield that's about 34.425. I don't know which one I prefer. Because we're no longer going to get perfect 35 there then. Unless, so get rid of that. Hmm. What angle is this? It's like, so that's 45 there. So I'm guessing this is 35 now, right? So that's 35. Alright, I'm just gonna see what this would look like. It's 4.5. Hmm. Probably overthinking this, to be honest. Hmm. I'm just not a fan of how. So let's go back to what we were doing before. So that's what's set up now. Problem is, technically, these aren't the same lengths. I guess it doesn't necessarily matter either, I guess. The Alright, let's just go with what we were going to do before. Alright, so what was the roll that we had listed before? Roll 0.15625. I think we do a roll of 3 times the initial, because that allows it to roll back into itself. So let's try that out. So stick the thickness, get rid of that. Let's do an offset of 0.078125. There we go. I guess. Whoops. Take this 0.078125. 0.078125. Take that. Cap this here. So if this curves around, so let's try this. I can't touch that. Okay. So it's gonna have to go from a bigger circle to a smaller circle. So what is this? Not what I want to do. 0.15625. So if I fill this to 0.15625, there. I'm gonna have to offset this then. Got that. 0.078125. 0.078125. Okay. Now let's fix what we did. What I wanted to do. Okay, there's a grid. So now let's roll this edge. What is 0.015625? Okay, so it's just half of that. 5. There we go. I think we do the same here, right? Now is it doesn't look good yet. So I can come back around. So does it need to be offset once more? Okay, let's get rid of this. Don't need it. Don't need that. So this is the original. Extend, cut, cut. Okay, get rid of this. Oh. There we go. Now, this is about 4 times bigger though. Let's see. So it's gonna need to get tighter here. Okay. Oh, so it's gonna have to get tighter here. That's what needs to happen. I think. So it needs to be cut. Whoops. There we go. Why is that breaking? Is it this? Okay. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. Alright. Can get rid of that and this. There we go. Okay. See how constraints can screw you up a bit. So let's offset this real quick. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of that point. And then let's go ahead and cut that off. Get rid of this. Get rid of that. And there's our basic rolled edge. I think should be good enough, so let's pretty that up so we don't have a little yin yang right there. So that should look pretty good when it's turned. So now we'll leave it there for now so that when we come back we can start working on the rest of it. But I'll leave that there and I'll catch you on the next video, all right?